What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of What's Happening. I'm one of your hosts, Kayla Scott, and every other Wednesday, we talk about everything from worldly issues to the latest entertainment topics, and by we, I mean me and my fellow co-hosts.
Yes, I'm one of the hosts, Joshua Jones, and of course, I always have to give a shout out to our live studio audience. Let's give it up for the audience. And while DJ Belly is in Texas right now, opening for a top artist, we have the honor of bringing back DJ Simone Nicole for the show.
And of course, you all can't forget about me. I'm your final host, Ashley Shannon, and with the support you all gave us on social media, our DJ battle featured in the last episode racked up Twitter votes. Though we love our very own DJ Belly, we have to give it up for DJ Simone Nicole for taking home the win. And as you all can see, there is talent all over ISU.
Yes.
So let's give it up for DJ Simone Nicole, everyone. Woo!
So we have a lot in store for you all today. We'll have an interview with some ISU students, and we also have a special performance at the end of the show, so make sure you stay tuned to check that out. So with that being said, we should get into this discussion. Josh, let us know what's happening.
All right, so something that we all can relate on is stress. Being in college in itself could be stressful with being so involved, taking different classes, changing your major, which I've done twice.
Okay.
And so you all know how it goes. But
I didn't
apparently,
do that one.
those aren't even some of the biggest issues that college students face. According to an article from The Verge campus, the top 3 issues affecting college students are the cost of education, they ain't lying, the difficulty in establishing true quality bonds, and hookups gone wrong. Now, I can see how some of this may be pretty accurate, but I want to ask you all, do you all agree with their list of everything that they have, or what y'all say would be like some of your top things that have really affected you in college?
I think personally the top thing that can affect many people is trying to figure out like who you are and where you're going. So when you come to college, like a lot of people might know like, okay, this is exactly what I want to be involved in. But there are a lot of people like me, I didn't exactly know, like I knew that I wanted to be in the communication field somewhere, but I didn't know like, do I want to do broadcasting? Do I want to do PR? Do I want to do like marketing type stuff? Like I didn't really know which direction I want to go, and it's really stressful, and it can be like kind of hard when you watch everybody around you, like if they know exactly what they're doing and they're excelling and doing these great things.
It's not even like necessarily knowing in college what you're doing, but actually like figuring out what you're doing after college. Because for me, I mean, I didn't find out until today what I'm doing after college, and I was stressed.
Yes, you did.
You need to tell everybody what happened.
Okay, y'all, so I found out I'm going to law school, so that's
Give
cool.
it up for that.
But I literally found out today, and so I didn't find out until March, but there are some people that still don't know what they're doing, and I think that's okay,
don't
Josh.
Know. Haven't heard from anything. No, but yeah, I definitely.
But
agree
you
with
apply
that.
for stuff, hopefully.
I definitely apply. I definitely apply. But no, I definitely agree with that. But even aside from the major aspect, I think it can be kind of hard. You know, sort of trying to find yourself like with your individuality as well. I know I was lucky where I was different. A different circumstance where I came here with a lot of friends that I already knew. So I didn't come here like by myself, but even still, trying to really find yourself in college and break away from that find your individuality.
Wow.
Can't talk today.
Let's
Individuality. Thank
There
you.
you go. Look
From
at
your
that
friends.
education.
Do it.
From your friends, and really like find who you are aside from that group. So something that I was a RA my sophomore year. Something that I always told my residents was, in college, it's not about all these different things that college makes it to be. It's really about finding who you are, and you have to be willing to accept change. So I say that sometimes you are either going to lose yourself or find yourself, and sometimes to find yourself, you're going to have to lose yourself. And so this is really that time of growing to who you're going to be, and really figuring out what it is that you as a person like.
And I think also people need to understand that while in college, like it is okay to fail. Like this is the time period where you want to kind of like fall on your face so you can pick yourself up and do better. So like over the summer, I was a preview guide for the past 2 summers, and I used to always tell my incoming freshmen, like, just make sure that you know that if you fail, it's gonna be okay. Like you can come back from that. Like after my freshman year, I was on academic probation after my first semester, so that was like really discouraging. I thought that I was like, I'm not gonna come back to ISU. My life is over with. But I mean, I picked it up. Obviously, I'm still here and I'm doing like great things. But I just feel like, you know, that's not pushed enough. Like when you come into college, people think like you just have to succeed. Like you're gonna have to fail in order to get to the point of success.
And I think that comes along with us comparing ourselves to other people all the time when you're not meant to be compared to other people as well. I think for me personally, I started when I was a freshman. Now I'm doing stuff, but before I used to look around and I was like, well, this person has an internship, this person has this person has that, all of this stuff. And then I was just like, I'm not doing anything. So I got stressed because I was hoping that I succeeded and I could catch up to everybody, but everybody's gonna run the marathon at their own pace. And that's what I didn't realize.
Yeah, so those are some of our tops. I do want to give a shout out to @LunarCoffee. We posted on Twitter what you all have been the biggest issues in college, and she said, I say that I'm better equipped to improve those things, and I'm getting closer to, but I feel like we're all a work in progress, so I don't think I've accomplished it. And she said this relating to finding balance in everything, learning what she do and do not succeed in, and keeping her word with herself. So I do want to give a shout out to her because I think that's something very useful, is that, you know, in college you're going to go through things, but you're going to be better equipped to handle these things in the real world. You're not going to be an expert and everything is going to be perfect, but you're going to be better equipped to handle these things that go on.
It's okay not to have everything figured out. I think a lot of us are still like, you know, I really want to know what I'm doing right here, right now, but sometimes, I don't know if it's just me, but you got to go with the flow. Let life do what it has to do to get you prepared later on down the road.
So would you say, like, what was probably if you could pinpoint like a number one thing, and we're going to open up here. Okay, but if you could pinpoint the number one thing that like you dealt with in college that really like shaped you and like kind of changed, what would it be? Dude, oh Lord. Okay.
Dude.
Elaborate.
Ashley. No, look. See, what had happened was I came to college and my parents met in college. They're one of those sweet couples. They've been together for 40-some years. They're pretty old. But they've been together for a really long time. They got married young. So I envisioned in my head, okay, I didn't get my high school musical love story, so I'm going to get my college musical love story. So I came to college and I was like, ooh, he cute. Ooh, he fine. Ooh, no, he's slow. So I was picking him out from day one. And then I kept saying, Ashley, you can do this. You can find somebody. And I was rushing my love life. Okay. And it's not something you should rush.
Yeah, at all.
If you really care about yourself, you should wake up each day knowing that you come before anybody else, but also that whoever finds you deserves you. I feel like I was going looking for other people when I'm not meant to search for them.
I agree. And I think it's very important as well, touching on that, to have self-love as well. You know, at the end of the day, people think that when you're single, like you can't, like it's like, oh, I just want to be with someone. Like you're always willing to like find someone, but when you're doing that, you're diminishing yourself. And you have to realize when you're single, that's a time for you to like really build your relationship with God and like really find that love from yourself. And then, because if you don't love yourself and have that own self-love, then when you go out into the world, you're going to be having, it does.
You have to love yourself first and foremost.
So yeah, what about?
Well, that was a good talk, you all, and it was nice to hear everyone's opinions and ideas. I really appreciate it. Like that was a really good talk.
It was.
Yes, but we have to take a quick break. But when we come back, we got some more to talk about, and our special correspondent Courtney will be showing you all a new business on campus. Stay tuned for more on what's happening.
Cardi B straight stunning, can't tell me nothing. Bossed up and not changed again. It's my big bronze boogie, got all them girls shook. My big fat, got all them boys cooked. We're from dollar bills, now we poppin' rubber bands.
I was going straight on college, and I was in the left-hand lane at a red light. So I started to go. I don't know if the other car had a green arrow beforehand or if the light turned green and they just assumed it was okay to go. But I remember seeing the other driver just kind of looking up as if it was from a phone right the second before our cars just collided. My airbag went off and my car filled with smoke and dust from it. There's no reason to text and drive. It can wait.
So at TV10, I've done both behind the scenes and in front of the camera, and that has helped me become more aware of what's going on, especially when I want to become a producer later on in my life.
You actually go out in the field and record videos, and you work with the journalists.
I'd be going out and shooting B-roll or interviews.
If it's editing, you can learn that. If it's directing, you can do that. If it's shooting, they have that here too.
Reporting for TV10 News, I'm Maddie Weiris.
Shauna Jackson. I'm a photojournalist at Fox 4 News, KDFW in Dallas, Fort Worth. We get assigned a story and we go out and get interviews, do live shots, edit in the field sometimes, feedback the video, and then go live. TV10, I did shooting, interviews, and editing. Everything that I learned at TV10 is exactly what I'm doing.
So at TV10, I've done both behind the scenes and in front of the camera, and that has helped me become more aware of what's going on, especially when I want to become a producer later on in my life.
You actually go out in the field and record videos, and you work with the journalists.
I'd be going out and shooting B-roll or interviews.
If it's editing, you can learn that. If it's directing, you can do that. If it's shooting, they have that here too.
Reporting for TV10 News, I'm Maddie Weiris.
The average college student has 6 to 8 fast food meals a week. Don't be a statistic. Eat healthy.
Welcome back to What's Happening, everyone. Most people go to college to get a career, but some don't wait. They get started on their business while they're still in school. Let's go to our special correspondent, Courtney Parker. She's got the story of how ISU students are doing that.
Hey guys. At a young age, most of us can remember a time where we wanted to start a small business, maybe a lemonade stand, in order to gain a profit. ISU sophomore Brianna Williams gave me an inside look at how she started her own business.
Powder, that setting powder, yeah. Hand me that one.
We think of hobbies as activities we enjoy in our spare time. However, some people take the proper steps to turn their part-time enjoyments into actual full-functioning businesses. Dogs are men's best friend, but for women, I would probably say makeup ranks higher. ISU sophomore Brianna Williams shares her passions with us.
Makeup has basically been like a hobby to me. I've been doing it since I was a sophomore in high school. I did my own makeup for graduation, not for prom, but like just as a practice, like I'm used to watching people on YouTube, such as Aaliyah J and other people that a lot of mainstream people know. Some of my favorite products would be from Fenty, which I get my foundation from. Smashbox has a lot of colors for women of color. I'm a brown-skinned woman myself, so I like to stick with people that support African-American women and who have always supported natural colors with browns and really chocolate colors. And that's really how I...
Bree took the time to give a mini tutorial on her everyday eyebrow look. While doing so, she also provided some background on her previous projects.
Worked with a student on campus. His name is Corey Allen, if anyone knows of him. He basically took all of my photos and he was a very good person to work with. I also used models that were on campus who basically volunteer. I've been working on this project since November and it all came together during February 16th and the 17th. One who you guys may recognize is Ashley. Ashley has been probably one of like my best models throughout all of this. Not only was she one of my models, we actually became friends because we actually have a lot of stuff in common.
The experience was wonderful, but before my visit ended, Bree shared some words of wisdom.
Don't never let no one tell you who is lighter than you that you're not good enough or your skin isn't the best skin or your hair isn't the right type. Everything about you should be for you. Don't never let no one misjudge you or tell you that you're not perfect. So from that point on, this is Be by Bree and thank you for having me.
I agree with what makeup artist Brianna Williams said. With so many resources surrounding us, it doesn't take that much to pursue your dreams. With a focused mind and a strong spirit, who can stop you? For What's Happening, I am Courtney Parker. Back to you, Ashley.
All right, so Kayla and Josh's story really had me thinking about how common it is for students to want to start their own business in college and become entrepreneurs. So I wanted to know, have you ever thought about starting your own business?
I definitely have.
Talk about it all the time.
You really do. I ain't even gonna lie.
Cause I mean, like, I enjoy being in school and all. Like, I gotta get my degree, but I know that what it is that I'm passionate about. Like, I'm going to have to start my own business in order to get what I really want out of life. So
what are you passionate about?
I'm passionate about modeling. Of course, y'all know I have my modeling team. I started doing modeling when I was like younger, back in high school, and it just really helped me build a sense of self-confidence within myself that I didn't have beforehand. And so, like, when I came to college, I wanted to start a modeling team because I saw, like, I went on college tours and I saw other schools like doing that. I was like, oh, okay, I hope my college has that. And I got here and they didn't, so I was like, okay, well, we gotta fix this. But I want to start like a business for young girls to come and take modeling classes to specifically focus on self-esteem. So I want like a side where it could be like, okay, girls come and they can pay for classes like a dance class, and they'll put on like seasonal fashion shows. But then I also want a nonprofit side for people who can't afford that, and then they can have like a big sister, little sister program with the girls that are paying for the classes.
Yeah, type thing.
Yeah, most definitely.
Like so Josh, how about you?
You know, haven't thought about it, but I will look into it. I just think that's weird that you have to get a degree to work for someone, but to start your own business, like,
it really doesn't take a degree.
It doesn't take a lot, but
yeah. But I think that's what scares people as well, the lack of knowledge you have surrounding that. It's kind of scary.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So,
but,
I don't know.
I mean, I thought about starting one, but then I realized, like, I'm not an entrepreneur. But, I mean, it's great, Kayla. I love that you're thinking about starting your own business, and I want to encourage other people also start your own business and don't be afraid.
Yeah, for sure.
So thank you all for sharing your ideas, and I think even though college seems stressful, it's safe to say if you really want to start your own business, it's possible. So we have to take a break, but next, Kayla is going to sit down with 3 ISU students that want to get us cultured. Stay tuned.
Money changing colors like tie-dye. I'm just trying to get it, I ain't trying to die. She got a big ol' on your booty, make the world cry. In the kitchen, wrist twisted like it's stir fry. Hold 'em back.
Wow, you really know how to party.
Take a shot, man.
Nah, I gotta drive. I can't drink.
Dude, come on. Take the shot.
No, I'm done.
Time out. Before you have sex, make sure your partner always gives you consent first. Otherwise, it's rape. Consent. Pass it on.
Only 54% of college students regularly use a condom during sex, so make sure to stop by the G-Spot today to pick up your free condoms. Safe sex. Pass it on.
1 in 4 students will get an STI in college, so make sure you're scheduling regular appointments with Student Health Services. STIs. Don't pass it on.
My name is Christian Stoynev, and I'm a professional hand balancer. I was a reporter, and then I became an anchor. I eventually had my own segment. It was called Who's Ballin', Who's Fallin'. TV10 helped me a ton with not just knowing how to speak in front of a camera, but also knowing what it's like to be behind the camera. It definitely helps me not only in knowing what the interviewers are asking me, but also just knowing how to understand from both perspectives.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to What's Happening. We have 3 special guests here with us tonight who have created a cool and enlightening presentation on Black culture. Let's all give a warm welcome to Elisa, Aviv, and Ryan. Okay, so how are you all feeling today?
Great.
Good, good. Okay, well, we're happy to have you all here on the show. But let's dive into like what this whole presentation is about. So Elisa, can you give us an overview about what you all worked on?
Yeah, so we presented research that we were doing on basically topics in Black culture that coincide with English Studies at an English Studies at Large panel. And Ryan spearheaded the whole thing, and he kind of asked me and Aviv to hop on, and we were super glad to do so.
Okay, so Ryan, can you kind of like tell us a little bit more about that, the motivation behind it, like what made you spearhead that?
Actually, I just saw like a lack of like, it's kind of corny, but culture in our English Studies program. I wanted to shed light upon some of the issues that our community faces and just give a voice to the people who don't have one. I feel like, we're all pretty good writers, and we met in Black literature class, and everything was just dope, and I enjoy working with them.
Okay,
Yeah.
so was this for the class in particular, or you all just did this kind of like as your own thing outside of that?
No, it wasn't for the class. It was literally for the English Studies at Large symposium. It's held pretty much every semester, and it's just everybody presents their work, their academic work, pretty much.
Oh, that's awesome. So, when did you all what was the time period that you all did the presentation? Was it just that one time, or did you all do it a little bit more after that too?
It was just that one time, but after it was over, people kept asking us like when we were going to do it again, and we were like, it was supposed to be a one-time deal, but we really enjoyed doing it, and so I don't think any of us would mind like doing it again and talking about what we talked about.
Well, can you give us a little more detail? Like, what were the specific topics that you all covered? Like, what do you think is the biggest takeaway from the presentation that you all give, so that everybody at home can hear about it a little bit more?
You want to take that, Aviv?
Yeah, so mine specifically was about the rhetorical and cultural importance of underground hip hop as an art movement.
That's nice.
I saw, a lot of people sort of dismiss and decontextualize the music to sort of, trivialize it or write it off, but it really is, it's one of the most important cultural movements that we've seen in America in a long time, and it's music that really gives a voice to a lot of perspectives that don't have one, and especially like as a white person in this field of study, I thought, especially since I love music, I wanted to do something that, sort of amplified the voices that are so often sort of forgotten and not talked about.
Okay.
And I talked about African American vernacular English, which is a dialect of English, and I consider it a language because it has such historical backing and it's so big today, especially with the boom of hip hop and how it's like the #1 genre in America, and hip hop is kind of amplifying that dialect specifically. So I just felt that it was important to talk about because it's the way that we talk, and it's really important, and it shouldn't be appropriated, and yeah.
And mine kind of piggybacked off of Elisa's. I went with Black Twitter. I did mine on the Black feminism on Black Twitter, and how Black women have kind of pushed cultural forces around and influenced cultural phenomenon on Twitter, pretty much.
Okay, well, wow, that's really interesting, you all. Like, thank you for coming on here and talking to us about everything. So, we're gonna go ahead and go to break, but after that, we're gonna have a performance from a fraternity on campus. We'll be back with more on What's Happening.
All I wanna do is zoom, 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 and a boom.
Brandon, stop.
Who is that?
It's your conscience.
My conscience.
Yes, you need to make healthier decisions.
But I love muffins.
Then you'll love this.
Whoa.
Here's a few healthy tips. Get more sleep. Make a list and plan out your schedule. Choose healthier foods.
Wow, my conscience was right. A healthy food puts you in a healthy mood.
My name is Randy Henry, producer director for WDIV TV.
I attended Illinois State 1973 to 1976. The part about, TV 10, at that time we were like so primitive. I love television. I've been doing it for a long time.
My job consists of, as a director, I'm like conductor of an orchestra. I lead everybody when to talk, when not to talk, when to put them on camera. And it's called News 4 Today.
Us. Okay, what's happening, everyone, and welcome back to the show. To wrap up this week, we wanted to shine a light on a tradition in the Black community. Sororities and fraternities called the Divine Nine are known for being leaders, mentors, and entertainers in their community. Here to entertain us tonight are the men of the Epsilon Chi chapter of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. Are you ready to show us what you guys got?
Yeah, of course.
All right, well, here we go.
Man, I got this swag. My hat matching my bag. You know I'm popping tag. But man, I got this swag. Man, I got this swag. My hat matching my bag. You know I'm popping tag. But man, I got this swag. When I serve, now why they surfing swag? I'm all hypnotic, exotic, big polo on my body. Got a bad girl beside me, and a friend right behind me, and I'm swag. I'm swag, I'm swag, I'm surf, I'm swag, I'm surf, I'm clean like this detergent on patrol. Yeah, I'm gold, purple by the zone. Yeah, I'm smoking strong, and you know I'm on, cause I'm swag. I'm surf, I'm swag, I'm surf, I'm swag, I'm surf, I'm clean like this detergent.
You got more?
Yeah.
You got
there's
more.
more.
Okay,
There's more.
There's more,
Okay.
y'all. There's more. No music. No music. Nobody gonna join me? They about to go.
B, S, step. Break it down.
Okay. Ooh.
Walking, everybody yell like watch out. Gotta do lit like cartel. No, I can't wait, need it right now.
Yeah.
Walk on the one, what you like now? Come it up from the morning to the night now. That's the reason I wanna fight now. Come on down and shine like a light out. Pull up, walking, everybody yell like watch out. Breathe in,
Hey.
shake it up, speed up, go fast, slow down. Breathe in, breathe out, shake it up, speed up, go fast, slow down. Million on me, J-C, count up, pay me.
Hey. Okay, I see y'all. That was awesome, guys. Thank you so much for performing for us tonight. I see you with the.
Yes.
Well, we want to thank you all in the audience also for coming out tonight and supporting us. Make sure that you keep up with us on our social media and our Twitter page and Facebook as well.
Yeah, so thank you all so much for tuning in. And you can tune in 2 weeks to What's Happening, but also be sure to tune in next week for our sister show of It's So Funny. But that's all for watching
What's Happening?